But first, for months, ABC 6 News has been investigating a $650,000 settlement the Olmsted County Board of Commissioners paid out to a man last October. Good evening and thank you for choosing ABC 6 News. I'm Miguel Octavio. That man was seriously injured after he was attacked by an Olmsted County Sheriff's K9. ABC 6 News reporter Alice Keats takes us inside the investigation.
Don't move. We got people coming to help you, man. We got people coming, man. We got people coming.
On June 11th, 2017, a homeless man, Michael Stiff, was sleeping under a tree in southeast Rochester when an Olmsted County K9 ripped off at least a third of his scalp.
It was bad. I mean, they got him off within 15 seconds of him being on, but it doesn't take long for a dog to do some damage.
I got a lot of blood, don't I?
No, we got a fair amount. We're okay.
You're all right, Michael.
We're just fine. But
why did the dog do that to me? I was just sleeping.
Law enforcement was out that night looking for a woman with an active warrant for her arrest on non-violent drug charges. She had no relation to Stiff. Early that morning, an officer saw her walk into a Walmart near the wooded area where Stiff was sleeping.
We have confirmation from an employee that the door was wide open. Somebody would have had to force their way out, and so she's most likely not in here anymore.
They started to look outside.
Hey, K9, if you're able to bring your dog over, we know which door she ran out probably.
Rochester police called for a K9 to track her down. They have 8 dogs. But the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office took the call instead.
Olmsted County Sheriff K9, announce yourself, release my dog. He will find you. He may bite you.
K9 Cobra and his handler, Deputy Adam Woletsky.
Check. Cobra check.
Tell me about K9 Cobra. How long has he been with the Sheriff's Office?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
A Minnesota Data Practices Act request revealed Cobra's been there since at least May of 2015, when Deputy Woletsky and Cobra completed basic handler school with the St. Paul Police Department.
Sheriff Torgerson's held the position since 2014. He was reelected in 2018. Now, despite agreeing to do a sit-down interview with me about what happened to Mr. Stiff in June of 2017, when I got there, he told me he couldn't tell me anything about that night.
What can you tell me about that call in June of 2017? Is there anything that you
I can't tell you anything.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not able to talk about it.
He couldn't explain why what happened to Stiff was never talked about publicly.
I can't talk about it.
At this point, the audio cuts out. The Olmsted County Attorney's Office redacted the audio from this video and others, and also blurred portions they thought would be, quote, offensive to common sensibilities.
He got some bad injuries. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I know you didn't, Michael.
Man, I'm just homeless. I work.
In October of 2019, the county board voted unanimously to settle a claim with Stiff for $650,000. Not the largest settlement the county's paid out in the 18 years Beer's been on the board, but one of them. And the people footing the bill? Olmsted County taxpayers.
We're self-insured, so I mean that comes out of our budget. So, you know, just looking at it, probably 1% of a levy increase would be about, I don't know, $800,000, $900,000. So this would, you know, the $650,000 comes out of the Olmsted County taxpayers' pockets.
Stiff's attorney said the settlement included a confidentiality agreement, which Stiff would honor. But in a letter sent to the Olmsted County Board of Commissioners in August of 2017, Stiff's attorney described his client's injuries as grave and potentially life-threatening, adding that a third of Stiff's scalp could not be reattached and he will need extensive skin grafting to try and cover the bare skull.
You doing okay?
I'm hurt.
Stiff is not the only unintended person K9 Cobra's bit.
Dog's name is Cobra.
In November of 2019, after Cobra tracked down a shooting suspect while the person was being arrested, he bit an RPD officer.
I don't think he needed stitches. I mean, he's going to be fine. Got bit in the leg, I believe.
Is that something that is rare to happen, you know, having someone who was not the intended target of a search, you know, get caught up with a canine or, you know, any sort of pursuit like that?
I don't know what you would say is rare, but I guess it doesn't happen very often.
I mean, can you think off the top of your head since you've been sheriff, you know, is it something that's happened once or twice? Is it something that's happened, you know, a dozen times?
I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to say.
The Olmsted County Sheriff's Office does not have any documentation of discipline taken against K9 Cobra or his handler, Deputy Waletsky, dating back to 2015.
Has the department changed anything in relation to how they respond to calls or how canines are trained since June of 2017?
No.
Not only is Cobra still out in the field, he's out with the public. This post from the Sheriff's Office Facebook page in December shows Cobra and his handler visiting with kids at Christ Lutheran Church in Byron.
Why does someone do to me this way? I didn't do anything to anyone.
With Cobra still on the streets and $650,000 in Stiff's pocket, the only changes the county's made since that incident are to its taxpayers' wallets.
A data request found that since 2015, the Sheriff's Office does not have documentation of any accidental or unintentional bites, where a county K9 bit a person who was not the intended target.